There's that. Okay. So, for whatever reason, Mozilla Firefox is showing a lot of noise. And of course, what happens? Let me put you on hold 1 minute. Hey, closing again on you? Dude. Okay, the guy that I gotta get him a gate opener. One of the poppers. It's the guy that's doing the garbage now on the property, picking up garbage and sweeping and taking the garbage cans out and all. I just didn't have the time to do it, and now I'm just basically forcing myself and the guy I work for to let me take it easy. Uh, as you all noticed, I had a slight change in stuff I have done. Uh, looks like he's got all of them in, maybe. Anyway, I've changed some stuff. You notice there's a refrigerator behind me. I had an old white one, but the problem was the defroster wasn't working on it. And anyway, it was one that I was given, so I didn't complain about it. What am I getting? Okay, back of my chair kind of fell down yesterday, I guess. Yeah, it did. I was out here yesterday, I think it was, doing some work. Was it Sunday? Yeah. Did some work. Got the rest of the floor raised up. Uh, got started painting the floor. I still got to put the plywood on the walls behind me, and then that will be done, thankfully. I have a small window air conditioner to go in one small section of the wall. No big deal. I'll probably put it right above the refrigerator behind me. Uh, that one there, what happened is one of our tenants, a Mexican lady, her refrigerator was missing half the insides when we bought the building, and it started freezing up on her. So, or should I say, it quit working. I diagnosed it as being froze up, and I diagnosed it as it was because they weren't closing the door all the way. But because it was missing half the shelves in it, and the drawers on the bottom, and that bottom lip that you put stuff on was gone, I went ahead and we got our new refrigerator, brand new, right out of the package. I mean, it was brought to her door. I unpacked it and brought it in and set it up. And it froze up on her, kept freezing up. And I kept telling her, you're not getting the door closed all the way. And she refused to hear it. So, after a couple of months of her doing this, she went and bought this one behind me from a friend of hers. And her friend had never had a problem with it. It was working just fine, but where they were moving to, there was already a refrigerator, so she didn't get one. They didn't have to bring one with them. So she got that from them, and it started freezing up right away. So she decides it's bad too, and goes out and buys herself a brand new refrigerator without asking permission and assumes we're going to pay for it. No, it don't work like that. Because we didn't authorize it, she's stuck making the payments, and she has to leave it behind because she took our refrigerator out of there. This one here I snatched up because I know there's nothing wrong with it. The one that was in her apartment wound up going to another apartment, and right away I saw what was happening is the door wasn't sealing all the way. They were just depending on it to close on its own, and it just wouldn't seal completely. It had like a 2-foot gap or a 2-foot strip where it wasn't sealed. And I suspect what happened is it had been a right left side hinge, and somebody had converted it, or it can't have been like that. I don't know. Anyway, the hinge was on the right side, and the seal wasn't sealing right on the left side. When I switched it to a left side hinge instead of a right side, so that the handle was on your right, it sealed up just fine. It hasn't froze up. The tenant hasn't had any complaints. So I was right on what it was. And now it's working just fine. So that issue has been resolved, but she has to leave her refrigerator behind when she leaves. But this one here, I plugged it up. I put a digital thermometer in there where it connects wirelessly to a second place, to a base station, and I've been monitoring it, and it's staying right around 0. Okay, 0 Fahrenheit for you guys up in Canada and overseas and all that. I don't even know what that is in Celsius, but it keeps everything frozen. It's not giving me any problems. It's missing a few pieces, but all it is just to keep the overflow food we have sometimes frozen and give me cold drinks. And I'm not complaining beyond that. It's black with stainless steel front, and it's smaller than what I had in here, but like I said, I don't need a big refrigerator in here. But yeah, it works good. Let me see if I can get you adjusted a little bit so you can see maybe the floor. Let me see, I have to go up a little bit. Nope, not that way. Okay, that's as far as it wants to go. Yes, I do have the shop heater on. Where the refrigerator is, it has been painted. It's a, you can see the color of it. I actually like it. Was worried I might not, but I do, so I'm happy with it. Recenter, zoom back out, get rid of that out of the way. Anyway, I am enjoying this. I'm glad to be as far along as I am. I went to, my phone's supposed to be able to connect to my stereo in my van. This is the other issue I'm having right now. Some of you might remember back in, turn my heater down a little bit. Back in July last year, somebody had broken into my van and stole my stereo and a bunch of other stuff out of there. I had replaced it with a nice Pioneer AVH X7800 Bluetooth. It's a, right now it goes for $500 through Pioneer, is what they listed as. At the time I bought it, it was listed as a $600 stereo. I got it for $400 brand new. For $400 for a $600 stereo at the time, that was a decent savings. You know, that was like a third off almost. Actually, it was a third off, I guess. But anyway, I didn't complain. It connected with my other phones, but then my other phone, and then my friend, when he was driving it, he connected his phones to it. And now it won't connect to my new phone because I have to erase the old phones from the memory. Problem is, it's not wanting to let me have access to that option. Okay, well, I decided to check. Okay, I should be able to reset the whole stereo and I'll just start from scratch, no big deal. Won't let me have access to that option. So I'm not happy about that. So I said, well, let me check and see if it needs a firmware update. So I went to Pioneer Electronics and checked, and it's like a 8.18 firmware version that is the new version, and I'm running an 8.15 version. Oh, okay, so I'll go ahead and update. So I went ahead and downloaded the update and did everything they said to do. Went to the van and went to do the update, and it won't let me do the update. The stereo is having issues, and it's only a year old, not even a year old. So I'm not happy. So in the morning, I have to call Pioneer, call their office and tell them, hey, here's what's going on, da 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 da, and work with them on it and see if I can't get it to do the update. If it can't, I'm going to be trying to make them replace the stereo. That is BS that I have to go through this. And the only way I can see to fix it is for them to replace the stereo, because there's more going on than what they're showing. Aggravating when things like this happen, and there's not much I can do. I'm going to be starting on a window install. Actually, it's two of them. One, I'm taking the window out that's on there and rebuilding it, or reinstalling it. I have to reframe it in and all that. It's going to be kind of a pain in my butt doing this, but it's got to be done. Such fun. Anyway, step at a time. I've got some lumber. I'm waiting on my boss. He's supposed to be scheduling a oversized pickup. He came back a day or two early. I'm not happy with him about that because he did not let me know, so I was unaware until he calls me Saturday afternoon while I'm gone. I'm actually busy doing something, and he calls me and says, hey, yeah, I'm back in town and I want to meet you and da da da. Anyway, another customer. Anyway, he didn't give me any advance notice, so I'm now having to deal with that. He's basically demanding that I have these windows replaced in a week. Well, we've already got the windows, so no big deal. It's a 2 or 3 day job just getting all the framing done and getting them in right. Thankfully, it's probably about halfway done or 3/4 of the way done on one. It's just minor stuff now. So, yeah, I'll be glad to have this done. This guy here, he doesn't use his head when he decides to do stuff. It's like, okay, you know, I told you it's going to take several days to get it done, but we've been putting it off because you decided you had to have somebody in this apartment over here before we even got into it to get it emptied out and fixed up and ready to be re-rented. You know, he does stupid stuff like that. But it's neither here nor there. I just wanted to say hey and let y'all know what was going on. I am definitely glad I have been able to take a bit of a break. I see I've had a few viewers. Let me see if I can't get some live chat going. I see I've got a couple of viewers, or at least one. I think I've had it to 3 already. Come on, live chat. There we go. There we go. I'm back on live chat now. If you say something and I don't respond right away, be patient. I will comment back at you or answer your comment. It just takes a minute. But yeah, it's been a long day for me. I was up at 7:30, had to drive, had to be in San Jose at noon, by noon. Had a few little things to do here this morning, first thing. It was a pain in the butt. Got there, looked at what the guy wanted me to do, and it was like, okay, this is cool, you know, I can deal with this. So that's exactly what I did. I was just playing it cool, step at a time. See if I can't move that over a little bit. Move, compress that. What did it do? Okay, there it is. Yeah, that's right. It's kind of interesting trying to set all this up to where I can view it. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, drove out there, made it there at noon, took a look at what the customer wanted. He has a nice deck with 4 6x6 beams or posts going upright, and he has his these those hanging garden lights hanging from him, going between them all, and he wants to make an overhang, like a, I guess, pergola or something like that, or pagoda. Anyway, but he wants to have a one of those sheet metal roofs, but it's not the sheet metal, it's something else. But anyway, he wants that done. Took the measurements, came back here. I had downloaded a trial version of a blueprint software, and I played with that and drew up what it would look like, kind of, as far as the blueprints went, and it came out looking pretty decent. Some guests from one of our tenants just came in. Close the gate back. Anyway, it's nice being able to control that gate from down here. Yeah, I did a pretty good job. It came out very, very accurate. I printed out, because he doesn't have the software I have, I printed it out and then rescanned it as a picture file. And that's kind of the layout of the beams on all the roofing material, how it's going to look and everything. He wants it to be sturdy, so I'm giving him what he asked for. And it looks like I'm going to have to clean up some cobwebs off this one camera. I don't know what it is, but the bugs like it. Anyway, yeah, he was actually very surprised at how knowledgeable I was, but then again, people who haven't dealt with me are surprised. He's actually a friend of another guy who I recently did some repairs to. A small piece of his fence and the gate leading to his backyard had to be rebuilt, and I did that in one day, and he was very, very impressed. I was actually happy to make him happy. You know, it's just how it goes. But anyway, yeah, and then I got another guy who wants me to do some work for him, and so on and so forth, and it's just, I've been very, very busy already, and it'll probably be like that for a while yet, but what can you do? Just deal with it. I'm fixing to close this video out and call it a day, because I am freaking tired. I am hungry because it is now 8:30 in the evening and I have not had dinner. Thankfully, I have some leftover barbecued ribs to eat, so yeah. Let's just see how it goes, and I'll be around some more. I'll do when I do the window. I'm gonna try and get y'all some video of it. Hopefully everything works out and I can get some video. Can't guarantee it, but hey, I'm gonna try. Uh, for now, please comment, like, subscribe. If you don't like it, say something. Let me know what I could have done better. Because if I can make it better, I will. Until then, catch y'all on the flip side.